and I'm here today with Taylor Duncan.
Yes, nice to meet you.
Baseball, great to meet you.
Nice to meet you too, sir.
Meet you for a long time.
Long time, yes.
And you're doing great things in the autism community, and that's what made me want to interview. And my first love of sports was baseball.
Yes.
I wanted to be a pro baseball player as a kid. I told you the Ty Cobb joke, and Ty Cobb was 71 years old. They asked him, what would your batting average be today? You're one of the best hitters all time. He said, well, I'd only hit 270. They said, how? Only 270? Are the players that much better? You batted 367 during your baseball career. He said, well, I got a bad back and hip at 71 years old, and I could only bat 270, but if I played in my prime, I'd still be tearing the place up. And my question today is, what are some gifts autism has given you? What's your autism superpower?
The ability to network, the ability to use my story to help others, not just in baseball, but to use the sport to be able to instill life skills and hopefully help them become independent adults as they grow older.
And then, at what age were you diagnosed with autism? What were some of the circumstances that led up to your being diagnosed on the
Great
autism?
question, good sir. So I was diagnosed around the age of 4, around 1999, 2000, before I was 5. And I had speech issues, sensory issues, anxiety issues, man, the whole 9 yards. Auditory problems, I couldn't go into large crowds. Like about 20 years ago, I couldn't go in that auditorium that we were just at without having those concerns. But now, you know, with the good Lord who's helped me alongside with my mother, my teachers and mentors who he's helped provide me with to help me, I've been able to get to where I am today, to be able to pass off everything that I've learned to others, to be able to help them learn and grow in their own lives.
And who are some of your mentors who really helped you out?
Well, my mother, some of my teachers, there were some coaches in my life who refused to take the negative as an answer and help me not only develop as an athlete, but focus on developing really for preparation in life off the baseball and softball diamond as well, to be able to learn how to work together as a team, to be able to communicate, to be able to do everything that we need to do to collectively work together as a team, and to be able to learn how to deal with disappointments, because disappointments, they do happen. It's about how we deal with them.
And I think that one of the good things you bring out, in every successful person I met on this spectrum, they had someone who believed them and faith in them. They had someone who saw their potential and helped them refine it as a mentor or a support team.
100%, yes, sir.
And what was your favorite baseball team as a child?
Ooh, that's a tough one.
That's a good one, isn't it?
I grew up watching the Braves on TBS,
Braves,
on TBS Channel 17 in Atlanta. But so many other media markets also got access to the Braves because they could watch TBS on the Superstation through satellite, and that was why the Braves back in the 90s and 2000s.
Shared some of the players.
They were America's team. Smoltz, Glavine, Ryan Klesko, Chipper Jones, Javi Lopez. I mean, it was a great time to be a baseball fan and get into the sport. And you know, I also like Randy Johnson's pitching with Arizona Diamondbacks. And I like some of the historical players as well. I like Rube Waddell's story as a former Philadelphia A back in the late 1800s, early 1900s. Shoeless Joe Jackson. There's a great Shoeless Joe Jackson museum in Greenville, South Carolina, and learning from Ty Cobb. And he's got a great museum that I went to in Royston that just teaches so much. But lately I've gotten into the Negro Leagues, which is a big testament to integration into sports history. And there's a great stadium, Rickwood Field. We're going to be having a game there where over 100 baseball Hall of Famers have played. And our athletes with disabilities are going to get to play alongside former pros and local community leaders of Central Alabama in September. And we do more of those games with local community leaders. Really, we're working on that across the country. So log on to www.alternativebaseball.org to find out more information about playing community
integration. Here's one of my favorite players. Let's see if you can get it. This is the only player be drafted #1 overall. He's a center fielder and be in the Hall of Fame. And he's the only one to play with his dad, too.
Griffey.
Ken Griffey Jr.
Griffey.
Him and Ricky Henderson. And with autism, too, a lot of times we'll imitate the players, but that can help us learn social skills. It can help us learn to be able to integrate with our environment. Ricky Henderson's batting stance. Then my next question is this. Faith has played a key role in your life. How has your faith in Christ empowered you with the challenges of having autism?
Man, Christ has given me so many opportunities through the years to really share my story and be able to use everything I learned to empower others. And the biggest thing that I personally learned was really the biggest thing with my relationship with Christ was not only the blessings, but learning through the challenges as well, to be able to get through those challenges and then learn how to help others go through those challenges as well.
And what's your favorite Bible verse all time?
Gosh, man, that is a tough one. The biggest one that everybody should know should be Genesis 1:26 to 1:28, the cultural mandate, Imago Dei, where we're made in His image, and ultimately it complements Isaiah 6:1-8, in which we're called by God to perform whatever we have to do to pass His word out to everybody else.
That's awesome. And how has your sports helped you develop social skills? And what was your early experience with baseball? I know that you've struggled, that people told you what you can't, and then you showed them what you can.
Pretty much, yeah.
Uh-huh.
But what it is about with opportunity is learning how to deal with the disappointments of losing, learning how to be a graceful winner, and there is such thing as graceful winning. Bat flips, all that other stuff. I'm of the old school mentality that you showed your opponents respect whether you won or lost.
Yeah.
And that is something to graciously and with humility put into perspective and put into practice in other areas of life as well. Learning how to work together as a team. Say, shout in the air, I got it, trying to catch a pop fly. That's communicating with your teammates. And making those force plays where you have to communicate. Well, guess what? You have to do that at a job too.
Yeah.
And learning how to put baseball into practice to where they can learn those individual skills and breaking it down however possible. That's really what my experience has transformed into.
Yeah. And then how did you conceive the name Alternative Baseball?
Ooh, well, it's an alternative baseball league.
Yeah.
It's an alternative
Yeah.
to what we consider to be adaptive baseball. It's an alternative to what we consider to be a competitive form of baseball on TV. It's an alternative to the competitive mindset that most people think of in terms of wins, losses, and statistics when we think of baseball. Not many seem to think of the positive benefits of just belonging on a team environment and learning from the experiences.
And also, what was inspiration for alternative baseball? Was it something that developed over time, or is it one day you just woke up and said, you know, I would love for people with autism disabilities to be able to enjoy sports, and let's go for it?
Yeah, let's go for it, indeed. It was about getting up and using my experiences. It was time. I wasn't going to be progressing further competitively in the slow pitch softball world, and it really wasn't for me at that time. And I wanted to get back into baseball and realized there were so many others that I just enjoyed playing with and growing the fellowship of the game with, and I wanted to share it with others. And we had started with slow pitch softball, and then they wanted to experiment with faster pitches. Being somebody who's always open to new perspectives myself, I said go for it. Yeah. Let's see what we can do with this, and let's build and grow this together.
And who are some of the famous baseball players you've met over the years?
Ooh, I met several of the Atlanta Braves when I was commemorated as a community hero in 2019. I met Dansby Swanson, Josh Donaldson, Brian Snitker. I've gotten to know him pretty well through the years. He's come to one of our events before. We had a game where we had all our players play against a team of former big leaguers one year. We got smoked. Big time. Yes.
Was it softball or hardball?
We played baseball. Yeah, we had them experiment with the retired guys. experiment with the faster pitches to see where that competitive level could rise to.
Yeah.
And by continuing to work on ways to break the boundaries and provide pathways for everybody, whether it's through the game of baseball, through leadership, through volunteering, through mentoring, we want to open up all those pathways possible for them to realize, hey, you know, I can get out there and do this after all, and it's a superficial experience.
So who was the pitcher who was the professional?
Josh Stinson, who was a relief pitcher for the Mets and the Orioles.
Okay, man.
I ended up getting a hit off of him that day.
Did? Oh,
yes,
that's
I
awesome.
did.
And then
RBI.
you share that the baseball diamond is a safe place to learn how to navigate life. What can baseball teach people with autism and other disabilities with being able to get together?
Well, it creates camaraderie, the fellowship of the game.
Yeah.
And really with that too, it teaches so many life skills that we may take for granted when we watch them on television.
That's awesome. And then share a humorous story from your life involving autism.
Yes. Well, you know, with humorous stories, what can I think of? Well, I can tell you that we have had those of all different skill levels. I could tell you an inspirational story, is that we have had those of all different skill levels try different positions in the game of baseball, have everybody have some sort of equal opportunity to just go out there and experiment. And you see those that you would not previously consider to be able to pitch off of a mound, be able to say that they've hit a home run, to be able to do so, and not only do that, but actually do it within the boundaries of the traditional game structure, and to be able to go out there and to really break those barriers. So that would be a great inspirational story, and teaching those that never ran the bases, knew how to do that, to those that are now using it tactfully, to where now they're passing that knowledge down to others.
And that's developing self-efficiency, the belief that when they begin something, they can carry it out, which is very important.
Oh, big time, yes.
And then, how many states are you now in, and how many teams do you have now in alternative baseball?
We have around 22 programs in about 12 states. And we focus more on efficiency. We focus on doing it right rather than having quantity over quality. We focus now on having quality and looking for those that are the right fit to be able to mentor our athletes toward the right vision that we set in mind.
And then what's your future goal? Where do you see alternative baseball in the next couple years?
We want to use this as a means to be able to empower those, not just through traditional baseball, but we're also trying a new street form of baseball for urban and rural areas as well, called Baseball 5. Only 5 fielders in the field, and there are really too, it's a faster paced edition, but it would be a greater fit for those areas where we can't get field access, where you can play it on any surface, even this surface right here, on carpet, on hardwood like a basketball gym, on concrete, on grass. You can play it on any real surface that you possibly can, and making the game more openly accessible through that and through esports as well.
So today we presented together on a panel, and you did 3 breakout sessions.
Yes.
What were your topics of your breakout session, and how do they reflect your passion for autism and baseball?
Power of the support system, finding your niche in disability ministry, and also too the 5 steps of servant leadership, winning while including, working together to be able to make a maximum impact on not only those who we serve, but on ourselves as we continue the reciprocal growth of knowledge from and experience, and learning really how to apply our lessons with God to them as well.
And with your autism being so successful, having your own baseball league, what do you think the one key success was more than anything else that impacted you being a success story today?
We all work together. I don't take credit. I mean, people have criticized me for that, but I believe that we all work together to force that movement, because no one person can do it alone. You have people that support you and can help you with a common goal and a common vision, being able to put that together.
Awesome. And I got one more thing. If people want to contact you, they want their own alternative baseball league in their city, their state, how can they reach you, and what's your website and connections?
You can sign up to play, volunteer, or start a program in your area. Start the first steps of that by visiting www.alternativebaseball.org today.
And thanks so much.
Thank you so much,
Thanks,
sir.
man.
Yeah, wonderful
Keep
day
up the
today,
good
man.
work.
Thank you.
God's blessing.